Juan. Happy New Year. Okay, so how are you doing?
I'm getting better. Yesterday I was feeling bad because I got the reinforcement of the vaccine, but I am feeling better today.
Oh, yeah, I hear that the second one or the booster kicks in sometimes badly. Good to hear you're feeling better. Our boosters are upcoming. So I was gone literally off token during comments off tech for 2 weeks, and coming back it's like 100 messages. And not just messages, like the pings, it's really the liveliest Discord almost. It is the liveliest Discord I'm part of. I don't know if any one of you has some update, like with the current state. I would definitely appreciate it. Just returning, like any upcoming things that we should take care of uh, with respect to hedge proposals, any deadlines or so. No,
Nope.
no news.
I can do a minor one, I suppose. I started working on the conciliant library on the um, decision, and oh man, what's the hold on, the psychology and decision science pedal of
Mm-hmm.
of our flower, and adding on a book that's called Meta Thinking. It's about thinking models that we can use to make better decisions, and how some of them we already apply um,
Mm-hmm.
just on autopilot, and by not knowing the notion to which we're applying to, sometimes it might not be the right model. So anyway, I just started synthesizing that book for the library, and yeah, I've been in contact with Matt, with Mert,
Mm-hmm.
to keep updating it and to figure out what's the
Mm-hmm.
format and how he's looking to structure it. I'm following on uh, the one that Sargam did for one of the articles that he's working on.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
That's pretty much it. Just barely starting on that one, and I'll have it ready by probably within 2 weeks.
Cool. Nice. So the whole section. Cool. Mhm. Super cool. Yes, I basically told Meta Alliance of it, and they have Meta Alliance is basically what Pete is doing to connect other DAOs that are value aligned, like we do. And basically, yeah, there's Bloom Network and others. And definitely we should share that with them as well, since yeah, well, it's going to be phase 3, but the whole meta profiles is interesting that they know about it and maybe will support. And basically there was also some talks about meta library. So I just want to say that next week I think there will be another one session. If anyone wants to join, um, just drop your name, um, and I'll share also with you. Okay, is Mert with us? No. All right.
No.
And anything from him, like any requests or so? or is it going okay?
From what I hear, it's going okay. Yeah.
Okay. And Nick mentioned that, let me see. Nick mentioned that you will be, or you started, started on some tasks on Notion as well. Was that the one?
Yeah. We're gonna team up and do some of the work that's now tallied up for Omega.
Yeah, cool. And some of the things that that Nick shared, she won't be able to participate because she's ill. Hope she's feeling better soon. Got me thinking, and I'll write to her anyways. But maybe some of you know, there is the token engineering services. Do you remember that? There was, at the very least, it was in the talks, that there will be from tech labs. There will be some offering like TE services or something. Does anyone know the current status of that?
I do not. About offering token engineering services to people in Omega or in our community, or
No. In token engineering commons from tech lab, from labs, there was an initiative planned at the very least. I don't know here, TE services. This is it, guys. Nick, if you're seeing this, I'll also link to it. But basically, this is what's supposed to be token engineering services. So I think they maybe just, as you see, it's starting slowly. And the reason for this is the following. It's an eternal quest. If someone gets good enough that they can actually offer TE services, they're literally gone and and do their token engineering thing. Or else, we teach or we onboard them and get to know, etc. But as soon as someone is proficient enough to actually offer token engineering services, they literally get swiped off. It's the market. But Nick, if you're listening, Heater, Patrick, I lose their names, so sad, but also cool handle. So Heater is also from Longtail FinTech, and he's basically doing this outreach work. Or else Sean from Tech Lab, that should be, this TE services should be or become where they token engineering commons or us would be offering, if someone has time, etc. Really a service, or token engineering commons labs. Right, labs is the place where people can learn and get their hands dirty. Basically, these are. Oops, sorry. These are the two places where one can get help or serious or get in touch with people who are actively, who are practicing token engineers. And then of course there is the book, but I said that's a labor of love, and we don't per se offer any services, but as we do now at this moment, if there is an opportunity for redoing work or sharing the current state of the work, that's sometimes good opportunity like we have now to get in with questions and so on, and have them answered or get their hands dirty with the topics in the book. So these would be my answers, and I can also link them. Yeah. Okay, Peter. Thank you, Nick. So it's chilled out. Yeah, that's as I mentioned, like that's the issue. We had that before we started Token Engineering Academy, I was starting to work on the book, and actually Angela wanted to start a review and consulting kind of thing, but or soon basically she also realized that people rather need education, or there are more people interested in learning than actual people who can teach them or even offer services on the side, because it becomes more than a full-time job. So that's the short answer. But it's definitely something Token Engineering Commons should be able to provide for that, right? So it's an important point. That's what I have to add to that. Does anyone else want to share their thoughts? I know that Durgadas also reached out sometime with people who would need help with token engineering on the side or to get just started, but it's really tough.
Yeah, really, it's such a broad range of people, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
we all have different things. I feel all the time like a dummy, really, in many ways, but in other ways, it seems like I can help. And so, yeah, it just really just depends on if the person just needs a friendly voice, or if they want something in depth about CAD. I don't have a chance in hell of answering anything about that, but
Exactly.
so so we just want to make sure that we direct them, so half the
To
battle,
you.
I think, is just being friendly and knowing enough about who to direct things to make a difference.
Totally. Yeah, that does make a difference. Totally. So it's very, very much appreciated. You can be sure of that. Okay. So any other news? Anyone wants to add something with respect to the library? Question. I don't think, or let me ask. So are they already times, or are you also doing it more asynchronously? Or do you already have in the token engineering library or T Consilience library initiative?
I guess we are working asynchronously.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, but if people want a meeting, I think we can arrange it.
Hey, Matt, you're back.
Yeah,
Hello,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I think I need to have a meeting
Welcome.
about this. I think I
Oh,
need to have a meeting about this so that I can understand what is possible to contribute to this. Because
Yeah, sure.
from
Like we
my
can.
perspective, I feel like what I do is relatively ephemeral and/or so complicated and contextualizing that it might be intimidating for people without
mm,
a narrative around it. So I almost feel like we need to have, like, for example, the graphics that I make. We need to have the graphic that I make plus me narrating what it all means, because people are like, oh my
mm-hmm.
god, this graphic, and then when I explain it, they're like, oh, that's very actually useful. So it's, it feels like I need to kind of pair that stuff up. I don't know if anyone else
Okay.
feels like that, but that's kind of where I feel.
Do you think it would be do you think the library is the place? Because the library is more like sharing existing resources like books that helped onto the token engineering commons path, or I don't know, since you're here, Matt, would you like to gloss over the structure of the
Like,
library?
yeah, I can go over it for sure.
Yes, please.
I guess I'm just not entirely clear what the target audience is, so I haven't known.
Yeah, like,
I have an
sorry, like,
overly large need for context, so everything I
like,
Yeah.
do
okay.
is very much focused on that. So I'm aware that that's
Okay,
true.
let's go.
So I'm also in the middle of troubleshooting Chewy's computer issue with him. So me paying attention to this thing and having you explain it all to me is not really a good idea right now. So
Oh, not
I'm
good.
so
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think it's on the agenda anyways. Like I was just waiting for Matt anyways, so that's cool. Because
Okay.
you made a Christmas present on the 21st. It's a new structure. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Like we are building it together. So
Super cool.
as we promised, it's very simple actually the structure, but
Yeah. Mhm.
uh, I can show also an example to us so that we can like discuss and compare what we have, what we will create. So basically, this structure we will have a start here page that will very briefly show like what this library is all about, but
Mhm.
it will be very brief. So manifesto will be the broader sense of what is this library for. Like we will talk about what we have talked in proposal, like what we are envisioning in the future. Also, what this library is for, like it's a multidisciplinary library, so we wanted to like
Mm.
the deep dive into those issues. So basically, we will have this start here, and I think Nick's idea of having some sort of journey creation in start here
Mm.
will be beneficial. So,
Mhm.
for example, we can like fork different user profiles. For example, we can say,
Mm.
oh, if you are newbie, just click this link. So we can fork them into new page. So there should be
Mhm.
like personalized start here page for those people. Or if you are like, we can write, or if you are very like experienced in token engineering, just wanted to see, you can go just there. So we can arrange those little things together with Olaf and Nick. And so we will have a manifesto. We will have how to create part. Like Prime is also a library which I can show. A cool how to create part.
Mm.
So basically, how to contribute part. We can prepare something like this. So now you
Yeah.
cannot add resources to our library because it's in the seed phase, but we will write
Mm.
explain those things. So
Mhm.
one can help with designing logos, brainstorming,
Nice.
all
Yeah.
those things, and we will create a dashboard like this one. It has nothing now in, but so we will use how to use
Mhm.
dashboard. So one can like, for example, Nick is
Perfect.
experienced, wanted to create a task for some contributors to take. Also, we can add
Mhm.
those tasks Zen Hub too. So people new in TEC can also take it, or people just see library somehow somewhere else can also see the task. So we don't like miss any contributor opportunities.
Mhm.
And how to contribute part. So we can create a type form, but maybe it will be too much. For now, maybe we can just name the librarians here so people can
Yeah.
reach out. So I can take this responsibility how to create part, how to
Mhm.
participate, contribute part. We have tasks page, which we will create like this,
This is the
as you.
one, right? Mhm. Yeah.
And we can have a contact page that, for example, we can write Sebnem role, Steward, and
Mm.
library.
Mm.
You can reach out to her, Mert contributor, Nick contributor, whatever. So,
Mhm.
and now we came to a fun part.
Mhm.
So the creations. So I just wrote this little note. Let's say we go into Zargam's page. We will have a profile of him. Like it's just
Nice.
so we will talk with him like name, yeah, and so we will have heading of the creation, how he wanted to do it. Like for example, he said, let's say, the complexity of token economics. So we will write it
Mhm.
down.
Mhm.
So he will write his source one. He choose why, or he will write. Also, we would like him to write a little intro about his creation, like why this creation is important, how what he
Mhm.
wanted to achieve with this creation, like
Nice.
in general. Then he
Mhm.
will state it's, for example, first source crypto foundations of crypto economics. He said, I choose this article because it's best way to start dive into crypto economics. I wanted to show complexity. Then he will write second, third, and what he wants. Then maybe he can write a conclusion. So he can say, oh, in this creation, I would like to achieve you to learn more on this. If you like to go dive into that, maybe he can give a link or whatever. It's very up to creators' imagination. Like, I please give your input, but I believe we shouldn't like restrict them a lot.
I like it. That's wonderful. Seriously.
Then
And also I like actually it's much better as you say, especially if this is also really coming from people who are at the foundations, right? And basically really this original creations and getting the template almost by them, right? And I mean, of course, we can have maybe we can after the first ones we can synthesize and see and make a template for starters. But I love it actually how it is right now that we let it emerge again. Super cool, Mert. It's coming
well,
together.
yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. We will have these different subjects, as you know, and we will have public creation parts, and there's no public creation will be open of in the phase 2 of the T consulting library to learn what phase 2
Fantastic.
start page. Then they will click start here, so they will see these things like, and basically that's the library actually. It's simple, straightforward, but it will be very good source. Like I was thinking, like if I saw a good creator writing about, let's say,
Yeah.
computer science photography, I will go and read it. Like
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Now,
It's the right way to go. Perfect.
yeah,
It's good. Hmm.
maybe we can create better like banners. Now they're, I know, kind of
Hmm.
not beautiful. We will work with Steph. He's like doing extremely good job with those little chain icons. I don't know whether you like, but I really like them. Look at them.
Cool. That's his doing.
Yeah, like he's artist, I guess. Like he's doing
Yes.
all those.
Yes. He's basically from he's from Motion DAO, or I met him in Motion DAO, and that's basically dance tech. And yeah, not just dancers, but really also visual artists and so on.
So
Super
I
cool.
can just want all people
Hmm.
to add there. Like, what do you think would be a cool image for the library, like a mood board? So, for example, if you
Mm.
envision a library themed as like Matrix library, you give pill or some sort of I think if we give an identity to library, it will be more
Hmm.
appealing. Like, for example, I want to show very very quickly. I just
Please, yeah.
uh, abracadabra money, they are yielding, but I really like their website. Like they're basically narrating. It's like a sushi. Oops. Or like think about sushi. Oh, why my computer? Maybe I have to get, yeah. Let's go into sushi. For example, they have like very distinct, very good identity about, like they're giving their products name of sushis, like miso soup and all, yeah,
Yeah.
all the things I have like same color palette, these little things. So I think if we, for example, like look at these, like very cool.
You have a good eye, so
Yeah,
we'll be good well covered. Okay,
yeah.
but
So
for the library,
yeah, for library,
mood board.
of course we cannot do this much of like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
complex images, but at least, for example, we can add image, like maybe even
Hmm.
like movie shots or whatever you like. So
Wow. Yes, yes.
Steph as a artist can like iterate it
Hmm.
for example, as like cover pages, some sort of thing, like instead of this blue thing, for example, maybe he can create token engineering commons library with different identities and with this logo, those little things. I think it will be very good.
Wonderful.
So for now, libraries like this.
The Notion page, did you get a chance to ask for whether we have a resource in Token Engineering Commons? Shall I take this on, or we don't have?
I asked Tamara, we don't have, but I tried it, like using anonymous Notion page. Like everybody can see. For the seed phase, we don't need. So this is fine.
Okay,
like
that's fine, you say. I'm just thinking, if it's, or shall we just spin up a new one, a fresh one? I just
we can.
fork the page, before we invest, put everything in there, and then we have difficulty maybe to move it somewhere else. If you want,
maybe.
just start the fresh one. Yeah, before we get into a dead end or something with this sub page. Okay, cool.
I will.
And then if we need to pay for it, we will not. Don't worry about that. It won't sit on your on your lap. No worries. Okay.
Actually, we don't have to pay it. Right?
I think so. I think like 1,000 block sources free. Cool. Looks beautiful.
Yeah, like.
So, anyone else who would like to add something or has questions to Matt about, or Matt, like, is it okay asynchronously, or would you like to have a day and time where you say this is when the library initiative should get together, because there is a backlog and we need to get it done, or is it okay currently with the asynchronicity?
I think it's up to people. Like whoever like to work meeting, for example, can DM each other. We can do a meeting. If they are comfortable with working asynchronously, it's also fine. I think we can push and sort it out together. Like whoever is comfortable with whatever working style, I think we should let people to decide.
Okay. So let me share again. Let me see if I took notes correctly. Yeah, if anything is missing. So we should definitely, everyone, do the mood board, and if you can add the links here onto the Notion page and to the mood board, marked in the agenda, then get that done for sure. To make icons. All right, good. So maybe reconciliance. I think that's good. I just noticed here, I don't know if it's just copy paste. Maybe we can update the info. Can you edit this, or is it only Letty? I think it's Letty then. I don't know if she's on. She couldn't join with audio either. I'll just Letty, if you have then. Yes, perfect. So Letty, if you have time, I just saw this one at the end. So I think it's enough to say that Sebnem, Kojak, and Steph, that we're on call. Just and then put me out here. And yeah, okay. And I'm trying to also yes, get my schedules in order. UT full, good. Okay. What I can also definitely do is reach out to Sherman and so on. I also cyberneticist jam. So there are quite a few. I don't know. Do we have Sherman jam or Carve Labs even? Do you have other people or groups who you know who are really into the research part that you should reach out, or you could reach out anyone, or you would want to reach out?
Yeah, like I mean, in space, there's a lot of wonderful, like very brilliant people are doing that. And like collect some of the people, and people also collect some of the people and send to you, since you have like more connection than most of us. Maybe you can reach out them. And
Mhm.
to me, like we talk Zargam, Sherman, and Jam
Nice. Yeah.
will be very nice. I don't know.
Also, Trust is a good cybernetist workspace. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's already basically the people who we know who will know what to do because they've been in this forever. I think they can handle like especially with what you have already prepared, like set up a curator page and so on and so forth, and think about what you'd like to add. And as we mentioned, or like for Durgadas, for you, when you say, okay, I'm more here, like philosophy, ethics, governance, decision science, etc. What maybe not the one. Well, that's a question. Like if you want to curate, and put together, for example, you have the synthesized models, right? What could be good for the library is to say this is, for example, you make a curation that synthesizes from many different sources, and those sources are the ones that you should be linking into the library, like a book, right? Or that they wrote a book about. So that's the thing. But then your curation, right? That would be basically, or the overview of your curation is represented by this model that you did. So that is also nice and very useful actually, because you are already synthesizing. So definitely, Durgadas, you're hitting the bar for sure about being transdisciplinary and able to contextualize and synthesize. But the way maybe you add is look at doing a curator page, and then talk about the sources that went into or that you synthesized from to come up with your models, right?
Yeah, in fact, I had been sort of talking to Manu about, he and I basically what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say, using the dependent origination idea from Buddhism to say, like, what is the origination of the nature of this connection to the manifest and the unmanifest? How does one then connect the chain of dependencies to something where, because if there's a dependency, it can be measured. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the beautiful thing, and I'm trying to connect that thing you're always asking me for, which is that, how do you measure the thing? How is it quantifiable, and so on, with this giant context, that I'm always talking about. So I have, so basically that would connect that entire half, and that would include the management science side of it. So it actually is a little bit more than I saw on that.
Yeah.
Too,
So true.
so So yeah, so that's
Yeah.
that's a big project though, and so he and I
Mhm.
kind of started on that, and I know some people who are animators who made a suggestion that I made an animatic, and they could maybe help me to
Cool.
figure out how all that stuff unwinds. But I took almost 3 weeks off, so I completely decoupled. I just didn't do
Okay.
anything but almost sleep, for the whole
Cool.
time I was off.
Cool.
So I haven't done any work on
Yeah,
that, but
yeah.
for sure I'd started on it before the break. So
Like
I'd like to
operations
get.
research management.
Yeah,
Cool.
well, yeah, I mean,
So,
just connecting
mhm,
all of it, and what we want is we want to find, the way, what is the underlying principles that you can basically interrogate all of these different things with, So how can you find what connects them all? And so we're working on it.
cool.
But
I
yeah, it'll
like.
get in there once it's done, but it's just tons of research and work. So sorry about the delay there, but.
No, I mean that's doesn't have a deadline for sure, and anything basically you are already look at that is preparing an epic. Do you have a name for it so we can refer or
Uh, yeah, it's kind of a
let me put
theory
it in
of everything.
management?
But
Uh-huh.
yeah, I guess it's not just in the management science, but it's a thing that connects that whole
Hmm.
bottom half of the thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, what is it that
Yeah.
makes all of those connect? And then I think from the management science standpoint, everything else is quantifiable on top of that. That's already all of the other half of that crypto
Wow.
economics flower is already quantifiable. So all we have to do is match them.
Hmm.
But anyway, that's kind of like, yeah.
Okay. No,
Uh,
it's wonderful.
Shabnam, like I have
Hmm.
one person in my mind to be very good contributor. Like I don't know her name, but she's called Schwarze Katze. Like yeah, she's like very brilliant
Hmm.
woman working on like system science, etc. So I can like
Perfect.
invite her.
Hmm. Perfect. Yes. Black cat.
Yeah, like,
Very cool. She's also in Token Engineering Commons or not yet?
no, no,
Oh,
she's not
cool.
talking
Perfect.
comments, but
Bring in the
I can,
brilliance.
yeah, I can call her.
Hmm. Very nice. Okay. This looks perfect. Anything else we should add? Okay, then let's go. Participatory research. Okay, basically that's near and dear to uh, Durgadas, myself, and so on as well. And just to recap, to get on board again, like the token engineering ethics principles, we just have these, but these literally phrases, right? But we have them from focus groups. So with the session, if you remember or participated with practicing token engineers about the situations that they encountered themselves to be facing an ethical dilemma or a difficult situation where they could not know what to decide or what was right or wrong. And that's basically the entire point that we're saying this is a global endeavor and going into places and being in this complexity and accepting it. We're beyond this is good, this is bad, or this is right, this is wrong. One thing is contextual ethics and so on. But in short, we have these, but what would be fun? We have these ethics principles, and one thing we should definitely do is have a collection and a writing out of these principles, like how did we identify them, what does it really mean, and have maybe it won't be a one-pager, maybe it, a paragraph each, so that provides more context to the ethical principle. Navigate dynamic landscape, that's about being conscious. Beware of social engineering, that's about basically rewards incentivizing. You can drift off into manipulation, or basically you are manipulating unless the people who are participating have consented into that manipulation, which is basically optimizing a path, right? So these are the things that we should definitely write out. Number one. And the second part is the practice sessions that we identified, right? To each of those principles, we had many sessions where we had this sense making going on, and I proposed one with co-facilitators. Durgadas proposed two with facilitators, co-facilitators. Mani proposed the capabilities approach, and basically what we said before we left off. We just finished this before came to this milestone before the holidays. And now basically, I would like to ask you, like, could we have one-pagers for each practice session, summarizing who is it for, sure, but summarizing what people can expect from this session, how it will help them to get a practical understanding, and maybe a practical understanding of such a situation, and what it means, or what capabilities they will, or what faculties they will be able to fine-tune or add through this practice session to be able to host multiple different worldviews, different than mine, right? Or to navigate these dynamic landscapes better. So my question to Durgadas and Manu, would you be able to sneak out more time to write those one-pagers? And could we commit to a timeline, or would you say, oh, this is not yet, I need more work on it, or I need more time to prepare it? What do you think?
Yeah, for me, I already have several pages, so it's just turning into a one-pager. So I'm good. I
Cool.
can yeah.
Can we maybe I could potentially just maybe create like a quadrant kind of thing where we've got all four of these things, and then we just list off the crucial aspects of each of them.
What do you mean all four?
Well, there's four ethics principles we're talking about here, right? So we've got host multiple
Four
worldviews.
principles.
Yeah. So if we just take and put that maybe in a quadrant graphic, then I can just say, here's a snapshot of each of them, in the, or do 4 blocks or whatever. I'm just saying do a graphic for it so that people go, okay, here's what I'm doing in terms of, the TE ethics, research thing. So, so I can maybe work with Manu on that, and then later, then that hopefully buy us time to do the rest of that research.
Okay. So basically, what you just said would go to what I mentioned first. Like, let's have one or a couple of pages to actually list those 4 ethical principles, and you suggested that you would make a graphical overview of that.
Yeah, where we just summarize what we're doing in each one, right? And then I'll just produce a rough thing, and then whoever's the person who's motivating that or whatever can fill in the details of each section that they want to say. So
nice. So and basically it's pretty clear. Like, facilitators, I see basically you, Manu, myself as the ones who will fill this out or reach to the others who said, hey, Nick raised her hand. Fabian, Roberto raised his hand months ago, but I will go and reach out back to him. But I feel confident that we can get this done. So it's basically also about the one pager of the session. Like, what do we mean with this practice session? What's in there? And do you need help with or any support with? You said one session. Intro to mental models and decision-making frameworks. Remember, we had you had many suggestions. So if you need help to collect these or anything, I'll be happy. Just let me know.
Yeah,
Or
it's I think it's
or
well, okay, so the beware of social engineering thing, I think that's more like well, okay, so if we come with the assumption that ethics basically is how is it that you operate as individual people in a world that's not really like that, right? That's being ethical, right? So how is it that we treat each other in a radically inclusive framework as though we're individuals, right? And so that relationship between the manifest and the unmanifest is crucial to the foundational part of what I'm doing. So I'm just
I
wondering if
know.
beware of
Yeah.
social engineering is the right principle to say there. Could it be security, or because people need
No,
security, right?
that's
They need
none. Yeah. I see, but we need to come from the other side. Like, I know what you're offering and where that
yeah,
is, but this, I think that the T ethical principles. Let's do it like this. Let's make this one pager where you also said you're
yeah,
going to put this into
yeah,
quadrants, and we work
yeah,
it out. And
yeah,
I think they are different aspects. Like, it's
yeah,
not everything is mapping into the same thing.
yeah.
But let's start with this first. Okay,
Okay.
then Manu and I can already start this, and then, but basically I also, yeah, like, this can't be able, we can have those more different sessions then, or get together and work these out. Shouldn't be a problem. Okay.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of a better title. Was what all I was going for there. So
Yeah,
if
yeah,
that's
but
good,
it's
then
literally like
you know,
manipulation. So
right.
to give a bit more context, what we often say is, oh, these systems can't be evil. You hear that a lot, right? Because we say it's a smart
Oh, right.
contract and we put stuff
Right.
there
That's
and that's
true.
going to do the good thing. So,
Right.
but we
Right. Right.
don't question, right? What is it that we
Yeah,
have just automated and so on? So
that's more the shadow side of the thing, right? There are a lot of different ways to
exactly, I
express the
know.
shadow than social engineering, and that's why I was just trying to come up with a different title. So
Yeah.
now reminding me. Thank you for reminding me of the
You're
context of that. So
more than welcome. I know you have delivered everything. I just want to help you to put the positive into the right
yeah,
bucket.
totally.
No, it's
Yeah.
wonderful. So,
Okay.
okay.
So maybe you and
One
me and
second.
Manu can have a conversation offline.
So I think, yeah, but we can also do it one after the other. I think that's really
Okay.
a lot already. Like the T ethical principles page. Let me put it that way. Overview. I can do a skeleton. Just make the right links to the context here. Birgit, as you said, overview.
Yeah, I can make an overview graphic.
Quadrant, yeah. And of course, everyone, and yeah, fill in or basically add But then we have basically those currently four principles, and the idea is that they grow with, further and further focus groups or topics that come together. We get together. Then the second thing we did basically for each practice session, one pager. So and the Manu said yes, Sebnem almost, but will take 2 weeks. Let me say 2 weeks. I always feel it's hardest to shorten it to one page. Manu, I don't know how you think about this. Do
Yeah,
you think you will need that much time like me, or more or less?
I mean it's a Nobel Prize winning theory, but I'll try to put it in one page.
I know. But don't let me I'm just putting 2 weeks for myself that I get it together.
That's the reason why my graphics are so dense, right? It's because I'm not satisfied until I can elegantly describe the complexity simply.
I think for our context, it'd be interesting. Like for the context of what we can do within token engineering ethics, then yeah, it'd be interesting to see how it's.
Okay, so basically, Manu, you and I will bug you both. We get those one pages with Durgadas as well. Sometime, I think it will grow one by one. So there is this. I
guess I'm just talking about putting in a visual framework, and then we can dump the content into that visual framework, so that everyone knows what we're looking at.
Yes. But I also have to add that not everyone is visual, or not everyone is not how do you call it? Sometimes people just get overloaded by one visual as well. I think we need both. We need more text. We need more narrative, but also the graphic. Okay, good. Just be warned, it won't just stay 4.
Oh, okay. I'm sure. Yeah.
So the organization of these tasks. There is one thing, and I will try and get to the stewards weekly. This is always 1 hour before we meet here. So I never make it because it's the family dinner time. But I will try to make one just to catch up again. You are definitely welcome to be there and connect with us. I also offered Mert. I don't know if you do have time, but Tamara knows that we would definitely benefit from one of us being in the steward session. I don't know, Manu, are you in the steward sessions?
You mean the community call?
No, the stewards working group. It's also open to any participant, by the way, if you didn't know that.
Yeah. They're talking about
just information. The stewards working group.
I participated.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, like I give updates about Omega.
Perfect.
Yeah, I saw him there.
Perfect. So, and as you see, also there's the sprint planning and everything, and basically, actually, other work groups join and have a place in this whole GitHub issues, which has this. It's not Zendesk. I forgot the name of the. No, I forgot the name of ZenHub, right? basically where people, this is how working groups normally organize their work. And as you know, we've been very loose because not everyone is wants to go into GitHub, and it would have been just way too much overhead. It was more important for us to actually synchronize, align on these concepts and topics which really are hard enough or complex enough. So I'm super happy that we got here. Now that we have basically tasks that are definable, it's up to us to decide how we want to do it, or up to each initiative even. And I think Notion and Notion page with tasks is more than enough, right? So the question would be, the ethics initiative, do we need that as well? We're just basically 3, right? And if every one of us, especially as facilitators of those sessions, etc., if we keep our, our organization autonomous for each session, it would be fine, in my view, unless basically you want to have, you want to put the work into the Zen Hub and then keep those works, I don't know, updated, etc. It's up to us. Durgedas, I think I heard you moan about Zen Hub before, so I'm assuming it would be rather no.
Well, I'm
to
trying.
organize.
I think it's there's a little bit of a movement about using D-Work, which has a similar thing, but you can also put bounties. You can also do rewarding. It connects with Discord. It does a bunch of cool things. We may want to look into that for our working group as well. So I would just make that suggestion. I've heard a couple of different groups, going for that. So that might be.
Use it. Do you will you have time to gather experience with it, or do you know someone who has that we could?
Yeah, it's me and Juanca and Chewy. So
okay.
Yeah, we're all on that. So
how does it? So you're already working with that?
Yeah, we're just starting on it now, actually.
Cool.
So it's it has a little bit of a similar view to it as like that. It's got the columns, and then it's got to do and progress and review and so on. I can show you real quick if you want. It's
yes. I mean, we don't have time today, but if you would you like to show it next time, because then I'll basically perfect AI tour of D-Work like this. Perfect. By Durgedas. Okay.
And for the record, I just want to say that Nick invented D-Work after they did, but they built it first. But I just want to say Nick invented D-Work as well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Our Nick.
Yeah.
Our Nick.
Cool.
They just coded it first.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's cool.
Is it D-Work that Lonis ETH is doing? Am I missed something?
Yeah,
Lonis?
I think we are going to have a meeting with him today.
Yeah, like I had meet with a couple of hours ago with.
Oh, nice. Yeah, actually,
okay.
Yeah, this call can end, and I will have an improvised call to show how the work can be set for gravity, and because we are finalizing our funding proposal.